Amy Kaplan's Our American Israel, the Story of an Entangled Alliance, dissects Israel's symbiotic relationship with the United States. She tells the story of how a Jewish settler colonial project captured the imagination of the American public, intertwining Israel's national myth with our own. American exceptionalism mirrors Israeli exceptionalism. The belief that America, ordained by God to lead the world, replicates Israel's messianic vision of itself. The two countries, because of their similar national myths, insist they are exempt from international and humanitarian law. They share an open disdain for the quote-unquote lesser breeds of the earth, each tracing their roots to European colonialism. Israeli Jews, Kaplan writes, are at once eternal victims and lionized for their military prowess. Palestinians, in the process, have been at best rendered invisible and often demonized as subhumans, representations of the barbarians the United States and Israel seek to suppress in their clash of civilizations. What makes Kaplan's book unique is that she is a cultural critic, seen in the myths and stories disseminated by writers, filmmakers, artists, and journalists, the enforcement of the peculiar beliefs that sustain the bond between the Zionist state and Washington. She opens the book with a dissection of Leon Uris's novel Exodus, as well as its film adaptation, which shaped a generation's understanding of Israel in the Middle East. She probes Joan Peters' 1984 book, From Time Immemorial, which was the template used by pro-Israeli historians to argue falsely that the Palestinians never existed as a distinct people. Israel's myth, she notes, is protean, depending on the shifting historical realities. The 1982 Israeli invasion of Lebanon, for example, and the massacres in the Sabra and Shatila Palestinian refugee camps, the Palestinian uprisings, or intifadas, required new narratives to buttress the Israeli-American ties. Suddenly, the Holocaust, which was a footnote at the beginning in the popular narrative, assumed central importance. Israel, especially with the establishment of the Holocaust Museum in Washington, was intertwined with the Shoah. The genocide became central to Jewish identity, and playing the card that it could happen again, Israel was given a license to engage in savage repression of the Palestinians, dismissed by Israeli leaders as the new Nazis. Kaplan ends the book by chronicling the rise of Christian Zionism, which has emerged as a bulwark of support for the apartheid state of Israel. Kaplan, who died in 2020, was the Edward W. Kane Professor of English at the University of Pennsylvania. Her book has recently been reissued by Harvard University Press. Joining me to discuss Kaplan's book is Professor Joan Scott, Professor Emerita in the School of Social Science at the Institute for Advanced Study at Princeton, and adjunct professor of history at the Graduate Center of the City University of New York. Her many books include the classic Gender and the Politics of History, The Politics of the Veil, and Knowledge, Power, and Academic Freedom.